you. I apologize for the hard accent. I don't speak Swiss, so that's okay. So welcome everyone here at the Pottery to our talk, part of the Zurich Design Weeks. So it's ceramics, it's superfood of craftsmanship. We are asking that question today with Lauren Schaub and Cornelia Gassler. I was going to say, so apologies, it's me here instead of, I'm not Mario Pelin, as you can see, obviously. Unfortunately, he had to cancel, he's ill. So we had to improvise a little bit, and so I think we're doing something more immersive, maybe you guys joining in and answering some questions too. So Cornelia Gassler, I just say a few sentences. So she is a material researcher, mainly in the field of, say, ceramics in architecture and surfaces in architecture. She researches into textures, material processes, strategies. Yeah, is that more or less correct? Yeah. And Lauren Schaub, many of you probably know him already. He's been giving glazes workshop here at DB Pottery. And Lauren works on the fine line of, let's say, classical ceramics, craftsmanship, and art design. Yeah, is that so now? And now I think I hand over to you too, and maybe you can say a little bit more about your practices.
Thank you.
I say.
So because we don't hello everybody. Now we have no moderation because you hear it. Mario is here. So we're going to chat. We're going to talk to each other and having like a discussion. And yeah, you're free to join, and we are going maybe to ask you some questions if you may like to answer, or if you have questions, feel free also to
ask.
Lauren, what is your interest at the moment? What are you working on? What projects? What is at the moment currently in your life?
In my life. Otherwise, let's talk about ceramics.
Okay.
I'm back from, I was 2 weeks in Geneva, and I had 2 exhibitions. One was an exhibition in Ceramic and Glass Museum, Museum Ariana, which is a museum for ceramic history also.
Yeah.
And I exhibited there an installation with balls, thrown balls, wheel-thrown balls, but it's like it's a sound installation. So in my current work is about that border of traditional pottery and experimental sounds. So you can visit it now, and there's an installation in the main hall of the entrance of the Museum Ariana, and you can hear every 15 minutes like a sound made by ceramic pots.
But is it the pot that sounds, or is it the resonance body?
It is the pot that sounds. There's a how do you say that? There's a transducer, you call that, which transmit a signal through the ball, and there's a transducer fixed on the ball and transmit a signal which makes the ball vibrate. Vibrate.
Oh.
So there is a digital sign signal, but you hear finally the ball singing, and you can imagine that like singing balls, like balls like from Tibet or something like this, or crystal balls, it's a bit another kind of sound, but similar to that. I think all, I can imagine there are people in this room who know ceramics. So we all have like this, how do you say it, this connection to the sound of ceramic when we eat music in the morning, or if we eat like a ceramic bowl with a spoon or something like this. So this is very familiar to us, and so I think you can imagine also maybe what this kind of spheric sound of a singing bowl can be. So for me, that's one thing I'm very interested at the moment. What's up with you for the moment?
I'm working with an interior designer. She made like a sideboard, and she saw my work, and then she was like, "Hey, let's combine the wooden sideboard with ceramic parts." And now she wants to work with this structure that is an old one an old design from my side, and now I'm trying to do them as thin as possible, and they are quite also big, and they are yellow. I would never choose yellow as a color, but I realized that it is quite nice, and it was also good to see that, because I bought some glazes and they were not as nice as the ones that I made myself. So was quite cool to see.
But it's a furniture.
It's a furniture, and then it has elements to even move around. So she has a little felt on both sides, and then it has to be really precise, and then it is quite an experiment.
You can move the surrounding tiles.
You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to open the.
Yeah. And we're still in. It's not like I cannot say if it works. It's still like an ongoing process. I'm also more interested in researching than and then do the perfect product. But the research question is really nice.
That sounds like a project which is has an experimental kind.
Yeah, and it's also craft driven. And this is maybe something new. It's like a design, but it's not design part. And for the design part, maybe something that is interesting me at the moment is this very old technique. I don't know. It looks not. It looks not the same as it was, but the old copper stove tiles, they have this kind of surface, and this technique is a big interest at the moment. So I try to find like modern looks for this patroniertechniek, patronen of patronenkachel. I don't know how it's called in English.
Is it a press technique?
No, it's like it's somehow like a siebtuch. Yeah, you take goat leather from young goats in the past, and then they blotted out the pattern, and then you can put it on over very flexible forms, and because the leather is very soft and movable, and then you take the clay, like I don't know, it's a bit between casting clay and working clay. It's more hard than engolbe, but still not as hard as. And then you take it over, you make it over the clay, and then the glaze is taking then the rest, or makes the rest.
Ich habe mir das vorgestellt, ist es gerollt oder gespritzt?
Es ist Patronieren heisst die Technik, und es ist eigentlich wie ein Leder, das du drauflegst, mit einem Scherenschnitt, und nachher ziehst du die Tonmasse drüber, und dann kannst du es wie ein Sieb drauf.
Ach, die Tonmasse zieht man nachher weg.
Genau. Es ist wie eine zweite Schicht drauf. Genau. That was something that is interesting. Like this the traditional technique, and so I'm more researching maybe.
You're now.
I'm doing experiments on one hand, and then on the other hand, I'm a researcher at the Applied University in Lucerne, and there I'm researching in a brick production to green facades, brick facades. So that is like many other part of person
At the moment.
at the moment, yeah.
So, but now already into technical questions. But tell me, how did you get there to
Okay.
have tiles in your pocket? How did you get started with ceramics?
Well, I'm not a ceramic designer. I'm a material designer. So I have a BA in material design, which I met in Bern with Doris. She was the head of the material design department. I studied 3 years, and then I made even a master in product design. Besides, already in the BA, I was interested in ceramics, and then I was with the ceramicist Cornelia Trusch. She's from Zurich also. I was there for a half a year, working with her and also with her partner. And then one came after the other. I was also plant dyeing then, but then after this stage for practicals, I came back and then I started my internships. Right. I made my BA already with porcelain, and then my master degree with the brick clinker clay, as a clinker, and somehow it started to be more and more my material. I realized that I started thinking ceramics, so I also designed with other materials, but because I was very close to ceramics, it started to be the material that I was thinking with, and it was very easy for me to think in processes there also. So it started to become more and more, and then after the master degree, the last 5 years I was in a manufacturer called Swiss Ceramic. They produce like stove tiles, but also they make also architectural projects. And we were somehow in a collaboration. Sometimes I worked for them, sometimes they worked for me. And there I also learned a lot about ceramics. So I'm not like a proper ceramicist, but a material designer. But what I did was, then I was very interested into the techniques also. So I was in Hürgenshazen. There you can get like Keramiktechnikerin, ceramicist technique person. And there you can also have like a proper education in all the very technical questions. So this is it's so in models, and you can do some of these during the year.
And the tiles you've seen, are they from your workshop at Swiss Ceramic?
These ones, the black one, the black one is like, I probably did not produce myself, but these ones I did, and it's pressed. Yeah.
But it's
so at the moment I do a lot of press forms and pressing. Yeah. And
you have special commissions, you have architects working for, or is it research basically?
It depends. I did projects with architects, interior architects, as the project I do now, but what I also did the last times was art projects somehow, but wall design. So there in this case, yeah. And stove tiles, of course. And what about you? How did you come to where you are now?
I made an apprenticeship as potter. I was 17, I think. So I was after school. I could choose a profession. And I don't know. I felt in love with the idea to make things out of nothing. I was very impressed by this technique of throwing, real throwing. So I wasn't interested at all in dishes or tableware.
But you got to it now, basically, with your bowl.
No, I'm absolutely into tableware now. I love it. But as I in the age of 17, it was completely new. But yeah, then I made this apprenticeship, and after that, I was also visiting Schule für Gestaltung in Bern. It's an applied art school in Bern. They have a ceramic department. So it's completing my
You did it after your upper
yeah. First I was in a small workshop. I had my master.
Yeah.
It was the two of us for 3 years, and it was very throwing. So I was 3 years every day, mostly, not every day, but almost every day, sitting on the wheel for 6 hours, 7 hours a day, throwing pots. So this is what was really my basic. After then, at applied art school, I was kind of good prepared for starting to do artistic projects. Because before, during the apprenticeship, I was just working. It was just I was going to this workshop and I was learning and working. Besides that, I was interested in art. Yes, I think I made 3, 4, 5 pots for myself at that time, and not more. It started after that. Yeah, and since then, I'm working as a ceramicist. Yeah, I'm working also working as a producer, as an artist, designer, craftsman. There are always discussions about
Marketing.
About what are you? What profession?
Well, I do it easy. I'm a material designer.
Design and art and craftsmanship. For me, first of all, it's basically I like to call it just pottery, but I'm interested in the borders or in this area where it's close to other. It's close to music, for example, now, or it's close to art or design. Maybe one day architecture. Yes.
And now it's all the question is about if ceramics is the superfood of the handcrafts. Craftsmanship, yeah. What do you think, or how you interpret the title? Can you help me, please?
Superfood is something gives you more energy, no? Something, as I understand, something gives you more energy in craftsmanship. Now, how I interpret it, it's we can see. I mean, maybe some of you are doing ceramics.
Many have
Doing ceramics. Beside the work or as a main work, or are very interested, and it's coming from somewhere. There's a thirst of get in touch with earth, with making, maybe because of there is also in our daily life. We are often absorbed with digital media. I don't know. What do you think about it?
Well, I when I heard it, I was more on the point of the Unmittelbarkeit, and I don't know this in English actually.
Approximacy.
Approximately? Okay.
Or in proximity.
Approximately.
How
do you call it?
You know.
You
might.
proximity.
How close something is.
Yeah, and without tools, you can be without heavy tools or hard tools, and somehow
It's approachable.
Yes.
I think that it's so. I think what you might want to say is that it's so easy for everyone to use, really. Right?
But
Something
also-
that's quite.
Yeah, it is about the process of having it in your hands, but it's also like if you see it, it's somehow like closeness. I don't know. When in the research where I work, we always talk about one example out of the architecture. It's from Zumthor, and he just built this little church with pressed cement and from the earth from there, and then he burned it out. He had like the trees in this, put it like this, the trees, and then this trees, the branches, the Stämme, branches,
Well,
from
the
the
trunks,
tree,
the tree
like
trunks.
this, and then all the clay, cement, the earth from around, and then he burned it out. Like he just, the structure he fired out, and with the burning of the structure, the whole.
That's called concrete building, no?
Yeah, it's a mixture. It's a